That's the way I operate. If you feel the same, I hear you say, hey. It's never changed, let me hear you say. We all right now, but we don't play. That's the way I operate. Ah, so fun, so awesome. So, it's always good to have in our musical repertoire positive and motivational music. I used to listen to a lot of negative music when I was younger, and you know, part of me still really likes that kind of music because I really appreciate the creativity and the way that it sounds. But I want to give you examples because they're rather interesting. Bands like Pantera and Rammstein and Arch Enemy and a lot of those kind of really dark metal bands. And I've always been a lover of punk rock music. But the focus right now is just positivity. It's really hard to stay positive and happy in this world. Or it can be. I mean, it isn't hard. Once you figure out the secret, it isn't hard. But everybody has times in their life where it does seem to be more challenging. And so if we can just get rid of anything that is not serving us to be positive, just let's get rid of all that. So I just got back from the hair salon. I got a little bit of a trim. Also today I got my fingernails and my toenails done. I got my suitcase all packed. My husband and I are getting ready to go to the airport. We're going on our first trip together to Europe. A really big blessing and big opportunity in our life. We're super excited. So excited. It's very distracting. But I still wanted to take this opportunity to have a quick chat with you. And before I went to the hair salon, I said that I was going to come back and share with you my 5 tips on how I stay happy and healthy. Now, I'll be celebrating my 42nd birthday when we're in Europe. We're going to be in Istanbul specifically on my birthday. And so, you know, I have 42 years worth of experience behind me. I have had all kinds of different situations, and it's almost like, you know, living different lives. I mean, it's all been my life, but I have had different, well, we'll call it different paths throughout my life. And because I have tried and tested so many different pathways, I can say with all honesty and sincerity that with all that experience, I know what really does work. It works for me, and I am just really happy to share it with everybody because I'm so excited that I found really positive results in my life. And I hope that everybody can live a happy and positive life. And that is really what I want to share in these video chats with you, is how we can all be happy and positive and a good influence on other people and inspirational to other people. So earlier when I was chatting with you, I mentioned that our look with the fresh flowers and the candle and all the fresh fruit is very Dara Dubinet-esque. She has a YouTube channel called Dara Dubinet, and she has been very inspirational and motivational for me over the past few months. And, well, why don't we call this an homage? This is an homage to Dara. The fresh flowers, the candle, and all the fruit. So, okay, let's start listing these 5 tips that I wanted to share with you. I get distracted very easy. There's lots to talk about. And by the way, I'm enjoying a fresh pineapple juice. I have an Omega Vert auger juicer that I really adore. I have a very close relationship with my juicer. And this delicious glass of fresh pineapple juice is thanks to that juicer. Alright, so see, distraction. Alright, so 5 tips. So we all want to be happy and positive, because when we're feeling negative and unhappy, it's not a good feeling. And we can say things to our loved ones and co-workers and friends and even strangers. We can say unkind things or behave in an unkind or disrespectful manner that we regret after. So what I like to do is, number 1, eating high raw fruit and vegetables, low fat, and as high raw fruit and vegetables, low fat as possible. I'm not perfect, and I'm not trying to say that I'm 100% raw vegan, because that isn't the case. But I feel optimal and at my best when I really am at a high percentage raw fruit and vegetables, low fat. We are what we eat, and I will compare it to if I were to have a plate of mashed potatoes with butter and gravy and barbecued ribs and bread. Okay, let's compare it to that. How that kind of food makes me feel makes me feel heavy, sedated, sluggish, unmotivated, and to tell you the truth, not very positive, because I start to, just the way it makes me feel, like heavy and yucky, and that's not very positive. When I eat high raw fruit and vegetables, low fat, I feel light, energetic, motivated, positive, filled up with joy and love. And that is true. I'm sure that to people who don't eat that way, this doesn't sound possible and might even sound very strange. And actually, you know, if you would have said that to me before I started this kind of eating, I would have thought it sounded ludicrous, honestly. But anyways, now that I am eating this way, and I know that it is true, there we go. Okay, number 2. I like to look after my other physical needs, which consist of getting restful sleep, fresh air, and physical fitness. Number 3 is spending time in nature. And a portion of that time needs to be spent barefoot. So I do a lot of hiking and collecting spring water out in nature, snowshoeing, skiing, walking. Although when I walk, you know, I prefer it to be vertical. I prefer to be getting some sort of exertion and physical challenge out of it. So that can't always be barefoot. Oh, or take swimming, for example, while you're barefoot there. That's a good example. Or walking on the beach. It's great to be barefoot at that time. Even when I go into the mountains and the forest, I make a point of taking off my hiking boots for a part of the time so that I can be in contact with the earth. It makes a really big difference with how I feel. Number 4 is spending time with the vulnerable. I was going to say vulnerable people, but it includes more than people. Spending time with children, the elderly, pets, animals. And number 5, last but not least, is have a good selection of inspirational and motivational music. and also inspirational and motivational YouTube videos. It's, as I mentioned, Dara Dubinet, her YouTube channel, Fully Raw Christina, Dan McDonald, the Life Regenerator. Those are some great examples to start with. And there's lots of others also. And I wanted to share this band with you. They're called the Luminaries. Luminaries. The Luminaries. They're from Los Angeles. And when my daughter and I started this YouTube project in Sedona recently, we were at the Raw Living Expo, where we started Blissfully Raw Life. And we were introduced to the Luminaries. They performed live, and their music is so positive, and it is absolutely inspirational and motivational when you listen to the lyrics. Very positive. So I wanted to share them with you. They're a good choice. There's lots of other good choices, but we don't have time to list a whole bunch. I'm going to end this video with playing a little bit more of the Luminaries for you. That's the way I vibe. If you feel the same, let me hear you say it. So let's all stay positive and happy and treat everything with kindness, compassion, and gentleness. I love you all. Thanks for taking time to share with me. I'm Christine with Blissfully Raw Life.